it has a massive, an enormous impact on economies, even in well-developed countries, such as the United States and Europe. Billions upon billions of dollars are spent not only in public security, prisons, police, courts, but even larger amounts of money are spent by people doing things to protect themselves, like putting alarm systems in their house and such things. While there is some evidence, good evidence, that very short punishments are an effective deterrent. But most studies find that increasing already long sentences has very small or no deterrent effects. And so what I mean by that is that when we ask the question, does a 20-year sentence for armed robbery deter? That's really not the right way of thinking about it. The right way of thinking about it is 20 years better than some acceptable alternative, let's say like 10 years? And the evidence is that those kinds of incremental changes in already severe punishments do not have a material deterrent effect. It's important to frame it in terms of the alternative. And the alternative to the death penalty is a lengthy prison term, in the United States often life without parole. So the right question is, does the death penalty deter compared to those alternative punishments? And there are good reasons to be skeptical about whether there's an incremental deterrent effect. Early childhood interventions of the sort of trying to make sure that mothers get proper prenatal care, and for women who need help in how to best raise a child, that these kinds of programs have enormous dividends subsequently for the child in terms of not only their performance, academically and so forth, but very importantly that they are less crime prone, and so that there are substantial long-term benefits in terms of crime prevention from these programs. I think it depends on what kind of crime we're talking about. The poor are more prone to committing crimes like robbery, burglary, and so forth, like that. But there are other types of, if we're reminded of the financial scandals of Bernie Madoff in the United States and of various kinds of white-collar crime, there are other kinds of crimes that the poor, just simply because of their station in life, don't even have an opportunity to commit. I think that some of the programs that are emphasized in the CAF report are conceptually the right programs. That is, programs that involving early childhood intervention, programs that focus on making more effective use of the police. I am confident would pay dividends in Latin America, as they have paid dividends in developed countries like the US and Western Europe. But what I would say is that these programs need to be designed and tested in the Latin American context. The research on the preventive effects of the police is mostly in developed countries, as are these early childhood intervention programs. I think there are good reasons to think that they will also be effective in Latin America. But I think it's also the case that it's important that they be adapted to the Latin American context and culture and so forth, and tested.